So I wanted to do a video about narcissists and how they always or many times will say you're missing the point. You're missing the point. I had an experience where I've recently gone over to teaching. I was in a different career before then, and now I'm in teaching. And so I have this position where I'm learning a lot, and I have to rely on others, right, to kind of guide me through some of the procedures and, the daily life of a teacher. And I got into a disagreement with the teacher, and she decided that she wanted to tell me what professionalism meant. Now, just as a background, my background is HR, human resources. For quite some time, I've done human resources, professional development, coaching, at some point, just doing various things with professionals. And so, usually, when someone meets me, they say I'm very professional. So, it was interesting to hear this teacher of 23 years tell me that I wasn't professional. And it had to do with something that was occurring on my lunch period, which was even more interesting. But I immediately understood what she was saying and had my own perception or perspective of what professionalism is, which I was trying to share with her. However, she kept telling me, "You're missing the point." And in this realm of knowledge, I really feel like with all of the experiences I've had, I probably understand professionalism a bit more than she does. In fact, there's been a lot of things that she's done, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I would never do that. It's unprofessional. But I have not offered her any type of coaching or anything of that nature because, frankly, I don't care. But in the school system, if you're in education, you know that there's just not, or not, maybe you just have children and you know that there's just not a lot of people of color. There's just a lot of white females in education. And so, um, one of the things I believe in is being authentic, right? Being who I am, but at the same time being professional, meaning I'm going to communicate well. I'm going to do my work to the best of my ability and, check all the boxes of what professionalism means in this assimilated world, but yet maintaining my authenticity. Now, when the narcissists come at you, a lot of times it's because they don't fully know who you are. They may think that they've summed you up. They might have put a label on you and they want to approach you in this way. And so, one of her mechanisms was telling me that I was missing the point. So I had to restate to her exactly what she said and summarize what she meant to again let her know I understand what you're saying, but now here's what I'm saying. So I just wanted to make this so that you're aware. You probably are, but what triggered it for me is that when she said that, it reminded me of many of the narcissistic romantic relationships I've been in, right? When you get in a disagreement and you're telling them your side, they have a different opinion, and it's almost as if they don't want to accept what you're saying, and so they tell you you're missing the point. When really what's happening is you're just not agreeing with their point, right? So I think this is really important, especially in the workplace, and especially in education, when you're a an employee that is trying to assimilate in this world, when you're black, right, and you're trying, there's so much that you have to disown in some sense to meet the standard of professionalism, which is really, in my opinion, just a lack of culture. It's really about this dry, business oriented, non conforming way of being. I see so many individuals that are professionals that, in my opinion, are not, but they're accepted as such, maybe because of how they look, their job title. There's things that I feel should not give them credit, but they do. And so you have to be careful because, especially when you're a black female, You're so used to having to change so much of who you are just to get to the basics of corporate America, just to get to the basics of teaching or the basics of a job, right? You don't even open your mouth and people label you. You don't even open your mouth and assumptions are made. And it's not the best. And so when you start talking, it's almost as if, especially if you're like me, you're showing people who you are. And I'm proud to be a black woman. Okay, so I have nothing against, who I am. I love me, right? And when that confidence comes through, and people start to understand, oh, there's some knowledge behind her. She knows some things, right? It's really easy for narcissists to try to downplay you, try to put you below where you are so that they can feel elevated above you, because you can't be 10, 15 years younger than me, knowing more polished and all of these things. Oh no. So you're just missing the point. You don't understand, right, what I'm saying. You're going off on this tangent that doesn't make any sense. Don't fall for it. It's not true. You know what you're talking about. You're just making a different point that is not in agreement with what they're saying. So I just want to say, keep your confidence, right? Stand your ground. Know that your opinion does not give anyone else a right to say that you just don't get their opinion. That's why you're saying something that's foolish or something that's not correct. Don't let people manipulate you. That is a very manipulative tactic. And I think if I hadn't have experienced it so much, it might have slipped by, or I might have just been like, forget it. But it's really a manipulation that happens that is very sly, very subtle, when people say you're missing the point. No, you're not missing the point. You just have a brain and you have an opinion. It differs more than likely from who's telling you their opinion. And that's okay. It's okay to not agree, right? But I just want to say this because, black individuals, we a lot of times withhold our opinions because we're more concerned about keeping a job or just keeping the peace sometimes, because we know how hard life can be. We haven't been set up in this system to where, we have money just through our family line and people taking care of us, but it doesn't mean that we're unworthy. It doesn't mean that we can't have confidence in who we are and what we believe, okay? So that's all I had to say. I hope you carried something or gained something from this video. Please subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.